Okay, well, shall we get started?
Sounds perfect.
Okay, um, so for those of you who don't know us, my name is Paul Bartholomew, and I'm responsible for marketing here at Cropster. And I'm joined by Lisa Gringle, who is our product manager for Cropster Roast, our largest product, Cropster Lab, and also for Shipsbeans, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And our focus will be all about the Shipsbeans platform. We will talk a little bit about some other tools because there are some integrations that are already built into Shipsbeans, and we'll be covering things like payment partners, how to get your shop set up, talking a little bit about shipping options, and then also, which is why I'm here, about how to set your shop up from a presentation perspective and also how to promote it. Okay, so that said, anything to add on your side, Lisa?
Nope, sounds great. And we can add as we go or get questions.
Cool. I will be watching the chat room. So if you have a question or you'd like to, you'd like to interrupt and ask something, simply just click on chat and or put it into the chat, and then I will let Lisa know she's talking. Lisa, can you see the chat box from your side?
Actually, yes. I mean, I can see it. I'm not 100% sure if I will see the questions or if I can just see the questions.
No, I was going to say, well, I'll watch while you're talking.
Okay.
While I'm talking. Okay, cool. In that case, we're ready to go. Over to you, Lisa.
Okay, sounds perfect. Well, thanks for the introduction, and we want to get started by explain or talk a little bit about what Shipsbeans is. And so basically it started 4 weeks ago when the pandemic also hit Europe, hit the US, and hit like everyone worldwide. And we saw that we want to do something, we want to support our customers, but in general, the coffee business. And we stuck our brains together and thought, what could we do as a software company to help coffee businesses? And what we found out is that we heard that a lot of, especially smaller roasters and cafes, have problems to get their cafes or products online because usually when you start out with like wholesale, but you don't start out with like retail. So you don't spend so much time in the beginning to set up a website or set up a web shop. And yeah, that's where we started, and that's where we said, hey, this is something where we can help. We can build this quick. And so we built a solution where our customers or every roastery or coffee business basically can sign up for shipsbeans.com and get a free web shop to get their consumer coffees online.
So I'm just curious. I know we've had this question a few times. How much does it cost?
Yeah, we got this question indeed. So basically, the solution is free. It's free for the whole cost of for the whole time during the pandemic. So as long as the World Health Organization says that COVID is out there and it's a pandemic, it's for free, and we don't charge anything for it for customers, but also for non-customers. So we extended this as well. So yeah, it's free.
So it is free. I think this is important that we remind people of this because it seems to me no matter how many times you put up it's free and where you put it, for some reason there's always this skepticism, and actually it is free. Yes. Cool. So then the next thing is how do I sign up, and also who can sign up?
Yeah. So basically that is rather easy. You go to shipsbeans.com, you go to our Get Started section, and you self-identify if you are a Cropster customer or not. And then you fill out a form to give us all the information we need to set up your shop, and then you will hear from us with the instructions.
Cool. So do you want to tell us where it came from in terms of how we put it together so quickly? What experience do we have doing this?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, we launched Cropster Hub a few years ago, which is an online platform for green coffee trading. So basically, we gained a lot of experience in building web shops there already. And also a year ago, we launched Order to Roast, which is a feature that allows you to convert orders into efficient production plans. And this feature integrates in existing web shops. So through that, we gained a lot of experience working with different web shop systems. And that was the reason why we were able to put that out so quickly.
Cool. Shall you show us how to get set up?
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Excellent.
So I will share my screen now. So let me know, Paul, if you can see it.
Looking good.
Okay, perfect. Just need to move that. Okay, so basically, as I said before, you go to shipsbeans.com and you get to the Get Started section. There are two options. One is GetCoffee that we will touch on a little bit later today. And the other one is where you say, hey, I want to sign up for my own free Shipsbeans shop. So you select that and then you basically self-identify if you are a Cropster customer or not. The reason for that is that you will get to a different form because shipsbeans.com is available for businesses only. So we need to verify that you are a business. We know already that you're a business if you're a Cropster customer, so that is fine. That's why this form is a little bit shorter. And if you are not a Cropster customer, we need a little bit more information about your business so we can verify you. But in general, it's pretty simple. It's a form to fill out. And once you filled it out, we get informed and we will review the information. The first thing, once we confirmed you are a business, is that you will get all the information you need while we set up your shop. So there are two critical things you need to do while you wait on your shop. One is picking a payment provider, and one is picking a shipment provider. So let's talk a little bit about picking a payment provider. So you will get this information from us. So we will tell you in this first email that you should look at payment providers. And a payment provider is basically a company that takes payments for you. So it processes the payments you will get from your customers and then basically makes sure you get the money. There are plenty different payment providers and it probably depends on your region which one you want to use. So within our basic setup, there is Stripe, PayPal, and Square built in. So if you want to use one of these three, it's fine. You don't need to reach out to us because they're built in. But if you want to use a different payment provider, just let us know so we can include it in your setup. Basically, by now we know the question that we get the most is like, which payment provider should I use? And the answer to that is rather simple. Use the payment provider, first of all, that's available in your region, but that your customers are familiar with. So if your customers have never heard PayPal before or are not familiar with that, there's no point in using it. If your customers are very familiar with Square, for example, like in the US, you should go with Square. So basically, you can also use one of the big ones, or you can use a more local one if there is an extension available for WooCommerce. So while WooCommerce, shipsbeans.com is built on WordPress and WooCommerce. So all extensions that are available for WooCommerce, we can potentially add on to your setup. So when you get the information from us, you go in and then you basically search here if your payment provider is available. So let's say I'm maybe from Germany and I'm interested in GetCoffee, which is an option for Germany. I can look for it. I can see, okay, this is available. You could just let us know and we can add this on to your account. Why do you need to look for a payment provider even before you set up your shop? The thing is, the payment providers, you need to set up an account with them. So if you, for example, pick Stripe, you need to get a Stripe account that you will later need for your Shipment shop to connect. Also, Stripe has about 1 to 2 days of verification time. They also need to verify you as a business. So basically, that's why you should get onto that as soon as possible. So payment provider is the one thing that you should pick already before. And then the other thing you can think about already before is the shipment provider. If you have a specific shipment provider in mind you're working with, let's say FedEx or UPS, you can look up here if there is an extension, which there are for most of the popular ones, and we can also add it to your setup. We will talk a little bit more about shipping later, but basically nearly every provider is here. And if you have a specific extension in mind, just let us know and we can add it. So these are the two things you will be able to think about even before you have your shop. And while you do that, we will set up the shop for you. Right now, it depends a little bit on the sign up, but it is about 1 to 2 days until you get a notification from us that your shop is ready. Once you have the notification, you will basically get the link to your shop. And the link looks like this. So for example, here, my company or my shop handle would be preview. This is something you will give to us in the form. So basically you say if your shop is called The Roastery, then your shop URL will be theroastery.shipsbeans.com. You will get this URL from us, and then you will get presented with this basic setup with your preview shop, and then you will be able to customize your shop. So you will be able to customize your logo, to customize the pictures, to customize the content, obviously. But most importantly, you will be able to add as many products with as many variations as you want, so you can sell them through your shop. In your shop, you also will need to add terms and conditions as well as privacy policy. We have set up pages for that. However, you need to fill in the content because depending on the country you're in, you need to adapt the terms of service and also the privacy policy. Yes, I think so far so good. So you get the shop from us, and with the shop you will also get an instruction manual. This manual will lead you through the 7 steps you should take to set up your shop, and will explain everything in detail so you can follow it step by step, how to replace the logo, how to replace products, etc.
So it sounds like once you've got the shop set up, Lisa, once you start the process, you will receive the pieces of information that you need so that by the time your shop is ready for you, you can have already hopefully picked a payment partner and started that process, a shipping partner, and ideally you've already got some of the pieces together like images and things like that you're going to need.
Exactly. So you will have this 1 to 2 days to prepare all of that. And then as soon as the shop is ready, you can input all that information and get a full manual, what else is needed. And again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us, support@cropster.com. Okay.
So then how do I set up?
Well, I mean, I think we will have a detailed look at the backend side of the shop a little bit at the later point. I would say we should have a look at different example shops right now, so we can see when you set it up, how differently you can customize this template you will get from us.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I picked a few shops that are already pretty nice. So here is one shop from Roast. So their domain is, as said before, it's roast.shipsbeans.com. You can see here they got the same template as I just showed you. They have customized the logo and they have also customized the full header with a nice coffee image. And then they have added all their products here. You can see every time a product has a range in price, it means the product is available in different variants. So for example, you can order this product in different sizes or different brand styles. All of that is available in your test setup shop. So for example, you can choose a weight here, and then you can also say, okay, I want to also pick the grind style. And then you can add it to your cart and check out if you want. Okay. Then here at this shop, it's also a very good example. They reached out to us because they wanted to have the prices available in different currencies. They found this plugin and they asked us to install the plugin for them, and now they have it available in different currencies. Okay, let's have a look at a few other shops.
Just a quick question there. So you can add other plugins and other tools to Shipbeans. You don't just have the default shop that comes if you want to add extra functionality.
Yes, so basically we ship a specific default set, but everything that you can find in like this WooCommerce marketplace that I showed previously, we also include that in the manuals. You can look through and see which plugins are available. And if you find something that you think is useful for you, you can just reach out to us and then we add it for you and install it for you.
Great.
Okay, so let's move on to a few other shops. Here you can see this is like a very clean shop as well. Very prominently on top, they say when they're roasting, when they're shipping. They also prominently say when their shipping is free. They also have their offering online, and you can also see here that they have that the shops are always in the currency of the region and the country. So also the currency is something that when you sign up for shipsbeans.com, one of the questions is in which currency you sell. So the shop that you get from us is already pre-set up with this information. So it is pre-set up with the right currency, with the right country and everything like that. Okay, then here are a few more examples you can see. Here the header is gray, the logo is white. They all had the same template, but they all used it very differently. Here again, it says that the free delivery is over 15 euros. And you can see also here very nicely all the products they sell. Next to that you can customize the currency, it's also possible to get the shops in different languages. So by default, we ship the shop in English, but if you ask, we can also change the shop language for you. When we change the language, it doesn't only change how you set up your shop, like at the backend side for you, but it also changes how your customers see your website. So for example, here, the Kaffeedruckerei, we have set up their shop in German. They went even a few steps further. They have added their own pages on top here about us, some special conditions, some other information about what is good to know, and they also added all their 24 products on this page. So you can see you can make it as simple or as complex as you want. Next to German, we also have French. So here you can see the French site Coffee Lab. They decided to categorize their offerings in like cafe, in boxes or accessories. And then once you click on one of them, you get to the actual offerings. You can also see that they have some promotion on some of them, which is also nice.
And so here they've really taken advantage of the fact that it's on WordPress in terms of how they're structuring it, setting up new pages and things like that.
Exactly. And you can, for example, you can decide to make, like here, you can decide to make a category and then on that category have then the subpage with the product. So that is all possible with the setup. Cool. So also we have a Portuguese site here. They also have added on all their products. So as you can see, very different products here as well. And then last but not least, next to German, French and Portuguese, we also have Spanish. So this is a Spanish site, and you can see also here very minimalistic, very nice product pictures. So you can see it can be as simple or as complex as you want. You can really customize the site to your needs and to your brand, which is super nice. So yeah, basically you are very flexible with that. So now as we have looked through a few example shops, I would say we look at the back end side of things. So I will switch back to my preview shop. And the nice thing about it is if you have a Cropster subscription, a Cropster Roast Professional subscription, you can use the order to roast feature and integrate directly to your Cropster subscriptions. This means that the orders are getting synced to your Cropster account, and then you can create a production schedule directly out of these orders, which will save you a lot of time every day. So how do we do that? To see how all of this is working, we have a look at the back-end side of our shop. So when you're logged in, you will see here on top an option that you can go to your shop. I'm just clicking here on dashboard, and then you immediately see, okay, this is the back-end side of my things. On the pages, I would see all the pages that are on my website. But the most important part for me is the WooCommerce tab. WooCommerce holds everything about my orders. So there are some reports here, but most importantly for you will be the orders tab and the settings tab in the beginning to set everything up. So let's have a quick look through it so we understand a little bit the structure here. So for WooCommerce, we have here orders that lists all the orders we got in. It's always up to date, and every time you go in, you will see the order, the date the order was made, and the status the order is in. You will see a list of all the customers that have ordered. You will be able to access some of the reports, and then you will be able to configure your whole shop. And this is done in the settings. Many of these things we actually set up for you. So for example, like addresses and the currency you sell in and all of that, we set up for you already with the initial setup. So you don't need to care about that. The things that are very important for you here are, as we said before, payments and shipping. So as we said before, if you have a payment provider, you need to, for example, here, let's say I want to do PayPal. I enable the payment provider and then I set it up. And set up just means I link it with my PayPal account and then it's basically done. It's literally as simple as that. As soon as I have my PayPal account, it's just enabling and linking my account. So I look at payments initially, and I will also look at shipments initially, because shipping is one of the important parts that you really kind of want to figure out in the beginning. Here we get a lot of questions to how to set up shipping properly. As said before, it depends if you want to work directly with the carrier, for example, DHL or FedEx or someone. Then you can we can install a plugin for you, and then they have like specific options here. Right out of the box, our system can work with shipment zones and flat rates. So for example, you can set up a shipment zone. So for example, here I have a local shipment zone that I call for California. And in this local shipment zone, I can say I want to have free shipping in this zone. So if I get an order from California, they will get free shipping immediately. And then I want to say I also want to ship to the rest of the United States, but when there's another state that is ordering, I want to have a flat rate added to the shipping. So for example, let's say for everybody else that orders from the United States should pay $10 for shipment. Then I can set it up like this and then say, okay, I have a flat rate of $10. And then also additionally add a condition to say, okay, if I am over a specific amount, let's say $120, I can offer free shipping. So this is actually how this is set up, but we line this out in detail in the manual so you can follow that exactly.
And this means that when I've got my shipment zone set up, effectively I can put my shop on the internet, and if I get an order locally, I'm good. And if I would like to handle international orders, I can just add an international partner on here.
Exactly.
And that will take care of the math and tell me how much to charge my customers and so forth.
Exactly. You can add an international partner here, or you can also say, I just don't want to ship internationally. I mean, that's also an option. It depends really a little bit on like how you're set up with your shipment provider. And also, I mean, right now, during times of COVID, very important is most of the time local shipment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we have seen that. So the shipping is very important, payment is very important, and usually also like the generals tab. If you're in the backend side of things, really this tab is really, really important for you. And next to this WooCommerce tab, it is obviously the products tab. because it holds the products you will offer on your shop. Every product that is published is available immediately on your shop. However, you can also add as much products as you want and edit them and prepare them and save them in a draft state. So people cannot order it yet, but you can prepare everything. And once you're ready, you just publish it and then you're ready to go. Okay, so if you want to connect your store to Cropster, the only thing you need to do is in the settings and in the advanced tab, create a consumer key for your app. We lined it out again in the manual, but basically you go to this REST API tab and you add a key. It's like a one-time generated key that you then can enter on the Cropster side of things. So we can basically authenticate your shop and know, okay, this shop belongs to your Cropster account. So here, let's say I already have done that, and then I already have connected my Cropster account to my WooCommerce shop. You can do that under the order settings. It's really easy. It's just a 3-step process. You enter this consumer key, you map your products to single origin roast profiles, so we know what we need to convert, and you confirm the variants you have. So basically you tell us, okay, this unit 1 kilo is 1 kilo. So we can basically make a really good calculation for you. So I've already connected my shop here, and once you have connected the shop, you just hit synchronize. Every day in the morning you come in, and then all your orders you have in your online shops are synchronized and showing up here. You will see the external order reference. You will even be able to click on it and open it directly in WooCommerce. You see the status, you see the items that have been ordered, and everything you need basically. So let's say you come in the morning, you synchronize, and you see here these 5 new orders. Just to check and verify, we go back to our orders view. So you see these are the same orders, 130, 129, etc. You can see here the same numbers. So you can see here we have the same orders. Once you have them, you decide, okay, I want to roast these 3. You pick the orders you want to roast. This can be up to as many as you want, up to 100. You convert them to your production schedule, and basically what happens is that we calculate all your products down to the single origin or pre-roast blend profiles you need to roast. So basically this gives you a production schedule with 2 clicks. Once you have reviewed the numbers, you can hit here add to schedule, and then it shows up on your production schedule, and then with in the next step in your roasting intelligence. Okay.
So when you say roasting intelligence, you mean in the profiler beside your roast machine for people who are not familiar with Cropster.
Exactly. So the Cropster roasting intelligence is our roasting profiler, and it's locally installed on your computer. And when you hit synchronize on the roasting intelligence, then immediately your production schedules that you did in your online systems are available and ready to roast. Okay, I think that is it from my side so far. And I think I showed a lot of detail already. And I'm wondering, Paul, if you could tell us a little bit on how should you approach to get your products online? Like, what if I don't have product images yet? How can I handle that? Where can I promote my shop? How do I get the word out? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I'm going to stop you from screen sharing right now to share my own screen. Here we go. And Lisa, we had a couple of people who joined late. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you the host so that just in case anybody else joins us, you can admit them.
Okay. How do I do that? Do I just see that, or?
You should see that you have now been made the host.
Yep, I see that.
And if you click on participants, you'll have a box pop up of all of the participants. And if anybody comes into the waiting room, they'll appear next to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Okay, great. Before we dive in on my side, which won't take very long, I just wanted to ask if anybody had any questions, because we covered quite a lot there. I haven't seen any questions come up in the chat room, but if you do have a question regarding how to get set up and all that good stuff, maybe now would be a good time to ask.
Okay, I will watch the chat window.
Okay, cool. Great. So then, obviously, the next question is how do you present yourself on Shipsbeans? So as Lisa ran through, there's lots of different ways that you can present your business. The key thing, if you're moving your business online for the first time, is really that you want to have your brand and the presentation that you've done for your shop and for your physical locations mirrored online as much as you can. We've got people who have clearly already got some kind of an online presence. And I'll just take a quick look over here. So if I look at our friends Agro, so they've got great pictures here of all of their coffees already set up, but clearly they've done this kind of themselves in their own coffee shop. If I take a look at another shop here, Coffmos, they've done a great job. They've got really nice edited images of all of their coffee bags with their descriptions and everything underneath. However, we also have a lot of people who are getting online for the first time with their online shops. Where I started with Mabo, you'll see here that they're just getting started. Mabo's set up by last year's roasting champion. And so he's got a lot going on right now. And what he has chosen to do, and the roast shop that Lisa also showed you, they did something similar, is they've gone for origin imagery. Okay, so great pictures of origin, of the base coffee, same descriptions and everything. This is important. You don't have to have those great product pictures if you're just getting started. Of course, they're nice to have, but if you don't have them and you have access to shots like this, and there's lots of places that you can get shots like this if you don't have them yourselves, they're just as effective and can make for a very nice looking shop as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. Another thing is the order of the products, okay? So if you take a look at our friends Agro, they're also selling t-shirts. The last item that you add to the shop is going to be the first item. Of course, you can see right up here that there's some default sorting. But if you've got things like t-shirts, like coffee accessories, and importantly right now, things like vouchers that you want to sell, it's a really good idea to load those up towards the end of the items that you're loading, so that you get them as high as you can in the default list of things that people are showing. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, Lisa, but that you could reorder them afterwards just to make sure those things appear near the top.
Yes.
Okay, so you can always put them up there. Again, if you've got vouchers and things like that, great to have them where people can see them. They're more likely to hunt for a specific coffee, especially if they're a known customer for you, than they are for a voucher or some other item that you've got that you want to highlight. Okay, so another important thing, which I think Lisa just touched on, is with your online shop, like your physical shop, you want to make sure people can get in touch with you. Lisa talked about the fact that with Shipsbeans shops, you're set up on WordPress. You can add pages. It's very simple. We have a manual. We can help you with this. Make sure that you add a contact page on there so that people can get in touch with you simply and easily and find your details. This is more important than you think when people are shopping online. I'm guessing everybody who's on here has shopped online, so you probably know that, but sometimes when we're setting these things up, we forget about that. So let's talk about a couple of hints. One hint for the presentation is to get, and I'm gonna come over here to the Zoom navigation is, as always, getting in my way. Okay, yeah. We're gonna come over to our friends at the Cafe Druckerei quickly. So they've got some really nice pictures here. They've also added drop-down features in their setup for their espresso coffee, filter coffees, and things like that. Getting images like this, even from basic images of your coffee bag, is not as difficult as people think. There's some very good tools out there. One tool that we use at Cropster quite a lot is Canva. And if you don't know Canva, you should, because it's a great tool. Oh, my tab has snoozed there. Hold on. Canva is a great tool for graphics. It's not going to replace a graphic designer. And by the way, if you're already a Canva user and you recognize something here that you've posted, my apologies for letting the secret out. But Canva is great for taking just some basic images that you can either get from the Canva website itself, or you can take with your smartphone, and helping you jazz them up, and also just getting a kind of a more consistent look and feel to everything that you do on your website. We use Canva a lot, by the way. If you're running a coffee shop, coffee business, or anything like that, they've got templates for a lot more. I've just pulled up the Instagram post here as an example, but they've got templates for everything from menus to signage, so on and so forth. So they're a very useful tool for helping you present your business across multiple platforms. So obviously, we see a lot of our customers at Cropster are on Instagram, but they're also, of course, on Facebook and Instagram and other tools like WeChat. And we all know it's important to have a good image to stand out on these platforms. Canva is a great way to do it. And by the way, they also have quite a nice offering on their free tier, so there's no costs to signing up for that. Another tool that we use, and I would recommend, that also has a free tier, is Hootsuite. If you're out online, you want to be where your customers are. And usually what we see is that people have got a lot of customers on one social media platform or another, but it's a good idea to get out on multiple platforms. So at Cropster, for example, we're out on, I think, 5 platforms right now on a regular basis: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and WeChat. And we have a single tool that helps us bring all of those into line so that we can post in one place. So Hootsuite handles all of that for us. And Hootsuite also has, I will just, here's a really extra special tip. They're not as good as Canva at showing you that there is a free offering. But yes, if you search on their website, you won't find it. But if you do a quick Google search for Hootsuite free, you'll find that there is actually a free offering there. So that's 2 hints to help you, A, in the way that you present yourself across these social media platforms, and B, how to get the message out across multiple ones. Because I know some people are great at being on social media all the time. Other people are less interested in it and tend to be more bursty. One of the things that's really nice with Hootsuite is that if you're the latter, and I'm the latter, then you can create 5 or 6 posts in an afternoon and then just schedule them out over a set period of time. If you've got things like weekly special offers, or if, for example, during this period, you're going to be changing your hours and you want to get that on social media, you can make something quickly in Canva and then put it out on Hootsuite across all of your various channels. Okay, should we talk about one other way to get your to get the word out?
Yeah, maybe one thing, Paul, to add,
Yes.
which I just thought about, is like when you plan something for your social media accounts, specials or something, also in this time, very nice, good to integrate for social media, but also for Shipsbeans, is like that you can offer discount codes. Like, for example, you offer a discount code for free shipping, or you offer a discount code for something. And for example, a free shipping discount code, it's easy to set up with Shipsbeans. Just with the shipment zones, you can say allow free shipping with a specific discount code. And then you can, I don't know, switch over to Canva, create your nice Canva picture with the discount code and get it out on your social media account.
So you have multiple, well, as we call them on the marketing side, campaigns around a discount code. That's great. I'm sorry, I meant to mention that. Terrific.
Nice.
Okay, next. So Obviously, social media is the place to be. However, during COVID, a lot of people have been getting together and trying to get the word out collectively. And at Cropster, our second initiative, after we built Shipsbeans, that our number one request was, do you have a directory so that people can find me? And the answer is yes, we do. We released GetCoffee just a week and a half ago now. And GetCoffee is aimed at consumers. And the idea of GetCoffee is it's a directory where people can go. They can find coffee businesses near them or find a coffee business that they know. It supports things like people presenting their hours, what services they offer, like like takeaway or delivery, or if they've got in-store stuff. They can also put information up about any fundraisers that they've got going on. And it's a basic directory like this. We've got, as you can see, quite a few people have signed up for it now. All Shipsbeans shops are on there. And we are already promoting this out in some consumer channels for people. I'm just going to jump into a couple of shops to show you what's available on Shipsbeans from a directory. So here we've got Tico Coffee. This is just an overview of them, where they are, a high-level description of them, plus their contact information, including their website, social media profiles, and on their website, a link to their shop. Also, we've got our friends here at Hafel in Germany. They've got slightly more information on here, including that they've got delivery. They do have some limited in-store options for people to go in and pick up. They're closed. No, they're not closed. Oh yeah, they're closed now. But they'll be open again tomorrow at 9 a.m. And you can see what's going on with them, social media, so on and so forth. So GetCoffee is a great way to also to help you get the word out, to get in a directory. It's a searchable tool that people can use locally when they're on the road to find out what's going on, and also a way for you to give information in a standard way. GetCoffee is not the only directory out there. There are other directories out there. I've seen some that are regional. For example, there's a very good directory for the Northern United Kingdom. All the coffee shops there got together. I've seen one recently in Canada as well. So if you're out there and looking to promote your shop, definitely look locally as well, because there's more and more of these springing up. Additionally, one of the things that has been reported on a lot is that people are looking more and more at local news. So if you have got active groups on social media or actively local community boards, definitely look on there and get your new super snazzy Canva designed discount code up there so that people can find you. Quite often we think about these global tools like Instagram and Facebook, but there are lots of local boards as well.
Hey Paul, for the GetCoffee, do you need to have a Shipsbeans shop, or is it open for everybody?
This is a great question. No, the GetCoffee site is open to anybody who has a coffee business worldwide. You don't need to have a Shipsbeans shop on there, although we would recommend one, right?
Well, if you have a shop, then it's good to list the existing shop. Yeah. But how do I get my listing on there?
Well, so that's very simple. All you do is you just head over to Shipsbeans, and you can go, if you go from home, you can get straight to GetCoffee up here. So I own a roastery. And I can add my business to GetCoffee right here.
Okay.
And that's available to anybody. And then I just set up some basic information. When you register, one thing to keep in mind is remember your password, because you can maintain your information on GetCoffee. Lots of these directories are a one-time thing where you put in your information and it just has your shop, maybe some basic hours, and then that's it. So you don't get a password or a sign up, which means that if your hours change or your offerings change as a result of hopefully everything opening up over time, then you're going to have a challenge. Whereas with Shipsbeans, you can go in there and you can update it. So please remember your password. And of course, if you've lost it, you see there's a handy button down there so you can find it again.
Cool. And would you say if you are already registered to any other directory, should I still register for GetCoffee or?
I would say absolutely. The more places that you are registered and the more places that are pointing back to your online shop, the higher your ranking in Google. So absolutely, you should register for GetCoffee, and I would say for other directories as well.
Okay, so if I have like now my Shipsbean shops and registered to GetCoffee and other directories, how do you have like any recommendations how I can present or my link on social media? Do you have some examples for us there as well?
So I do. A number of our customers with Shipsbeans shops have already put their shops onto social media. So here's an example where agro roasters, and I would definitely recommend this, have put their Shipsbeans shops directly in their bio. So that's their link for the bio to get to take people directly to their Shipsbeans shops. You'll also see that our friends at they've changed theirs since I uploaded.
No, it is it is there. It's
Here we go.
Yeah, it is the
okay. Yeah, so the Coffmos have got their shop highlighted here, and similarly, our friends at Mabo have also put their Shipsbeans coffee here, Shipsbeans shop here. So if where you've got your social media presence, of course, you want to give your customers the opportunity to buy. Make sure you include your details to your Shipsbeans shops there.
Cool.
What we've also seen, I will mention, is that if you're new to online shops and you're just getting set up, maybe all you've got for your business is a Facebook page or something like that, now would be a good time to buy your domain. We have a few Shipsbeans shops where I've noticed that what people have done is they've bought their domain for their business and they've just pointed it directly at their Shipsbeans shop to make themselves even easier for their customers to find. And you can buy a domain off of GoDaddy or Hover for $10 a year. So I would also recommend doing that. It's a good time to get these things set up.
But if I don't have a domain yet, it's not the reason I can't get started.
Absolutely not. You can get started anytime. You've got your domain right here, as you see with Mabo, and it's one of the reasons that we called the site Shipsbeans. People know that Mabo's shipping beans right now.
Nice. Cool. Thanks a lot. I will see.
Thank you.
I haven't seen a question here in the chat window. Maybe you see a different window than I do, but if there are questions, please just let us know. I would wrap up with just some thoughts about where does Shipsbeans go. So basically, very important for us is this whole initiative is about COVID, and the main goal is to show, or our main vision at Cropster is always that we have your back as our customers, but also we have your back as just people in the coffee business. We really care to help the community. So we did this fast. And we will reevaluate after the COVID is over what we will do with Shipsbeans. So we will not just, for example, shut it down. We will evaluate if we make it a product. We will evaluate if it makes sense to make it really a product to go on. If for whatever reason we decide to not do it, you would be informed. You would get time to migrate to a different shop. So you have our word, as always. We have your back, and that's most important for us.
Absolutely. I think that's a key part of it. We've got your back. We will help you set up. Our goal here is to help businesses get set up as quickly as possible during this crisis that we're all suffering through right now. And we will be there. So if Shipsbeans goes forward, great, then we look forward to going forward with you. If after the pandemic we decide to make changes or change the approach for Shipsbeans, we will make sure that you are fully supported through any transition that we make.
Yes.
Okay, I don't see any questions. I'll give it another 10 seconds or so to see if we get any. If not, I'll take it as a sign that, Lisa, you did a fantastic job of explaining everything.
Thank you. You too. And also, if you have a question, like our support team, our sales team is available still during COVID, normal times. You can call us, you can reach us through support@cropster.com. So we will get back to you as soon as possible. So you can always send us your questions.
Great. Then, so first of all, Lisa, because you are now the host, you are the person who gets to press the official end meeting button. But before you do, I just wanted to say thanks for everybody's time joining us. And finally, we're doing more and more webinars here at Cropster. Our next webinar is a panel discussion about COVID impacts and solutions for the supply chain. We've got some great people who are going to be joining us there from Intelligentsia, Nordic Approach, Geisha Village, El Grano, and more. And it will be on the 21st. We hope to see some of you there.
Cool. Sounds exciting. Looking
Great.
forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.